Oh, hello there. I'm Mr. Brzezinski, your fearless leader, and I will talk you through this course of technology. Welcome to the first day. The expectations for this course. Let's talk about being respectful. First, of course, I'm the boss, applesauce. Respect me, your hero, Mr. Brzezinski. Respect me, first and foremost. Rule number 2, always resort back to rule number 1. Be respectful to me. Third, respect each other. Wait a minute. Before you respect each other, respect the equipment. Taking good care of your lab is of the utmost importance. So make sure that you are being gentle with the keyboards, gentle with the mouse. If you need earphones, you may bring your own earphones to class. You may borrow a pair of mine. Make sure that you are not spinning around on your chairs. You're not whizzing up and down the aisles. With great power comes great responsibility, right? And these chairs are powerful. They move up, down, left, right, forward, and reverse. These wheels are great to have on the bottom of your chair, but you have to be responsible. Don't be wheeling around the classroom, or you will be given a static chair. First, respect each other. Make sure you are being respectful to each other, especially as it pertains to germs. Keep your mask up at all times, over top of your nose and mouth. Keep your distance when possible. Don't touch anybody else's things. Keep to your own computer. Moving right along here, we want to be prompt and prepared. Coming in the room, we are going to put our things underneath the whiteboard in the front of the classroom, continue moving forward, finding our seat, and we want to start our warm-up. You won't need any pencils, papers, or anything like that, so don't bring anything extra to your seat. Just come in, ready to learn, sit down, get signed into the computer, and start the warm-up. If we haven't done the warm-up yet, you're going to wait for Mr. Brzezinski's prompt to figure out what to do. And of course, be responsible for your work. You're always checking your grade. You're working while you're here. You're doing the best you possibly can. If you have questions, of course, you're going to ask me about them. Check your grades. Once you're finished with a project, you make sure that you submit it, and then the next day you come in, you check your grade. If you're falling behind, you're going to make up that time. How are you going to make that up? You're going to make it up at home. You're going to make it up by working harder in class. You're going to ask me questions, figuring out what you need to do to catch up. Be responsible for your work. You have access to Schoology 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could do almost every project from home if you so choose. So make sure you are checking and getting the best grade possible for this extremely awesome course. And of course, you're always following the good citizenship, computer usage, and network usage at all times. Basically, you need to make sure that you are always using the computers for educational purposes only. Do not mess around on the computers. Use them for education because everything you do can be monitored. Moving right along, we have consequences for misbehavior. We do have consequences in here, and the first will be a verbal warning. I'm very laid back. I'm very easy to get along with. I'm going to give you a verbal warning right away. Listen, stop, knock it off. Please, please sit down, be quiet, stop annoying me and others in the class. Please relax. I'm going to give you that verbal warning, and as long as you respond to that verbal warning in a positive manner, we are going to get along just fine. I will pretend to be your friend again. However, if you do not listen to the verbal warning, of course, you may be subjected to a teacher detention. Yes, this is a teacher detention, not a student detention. It's my detention because I have to sit there with you. You are being detained. My goodness, don't ever get a teacher detention for me. Few and far between. We can normally sort things out with simple verbal warnings. But if you do, we might have to go to the teacher detention. And of course, that is followed by parental unit contact. I need to either call, email your parents, explain to them your misbehavior. You don't want your parent involvement here. Make sure that you are not getting to the parental unit. You're stopping right here. As soon as Mr. B tells you to stop doing things, you're going to stop doing things. And of course, if you do something heinous, we might have to go to the office of detention. If none of this stuff works, we go to the office of detention. If you do something obnoxious, boom, we might skip all the way down to the office of detention. Please don't make this an issue. Of course, not you. You're the good student in the class. Look to your left, look to your right, look around the class. I mean, come on, people. You, yes, you, the one I'm talking to, is the best student in the class, right? So you're not going to have to worry about any of this stuff because you're going to respond in an appropriate manner, of course. And we never want to lose privileges to the computers and network. There's so much stuff that we do in school that are dependent on the computers and resources that we can have available to us. We want to make sure that we never lose privilege to the computers. Just a few things here under the housekeeping. You want to arrive and, wait a minute, depart on time. Of course, you're going to start the warm-up when you come in. However, when you depart, I'm going to try to give you a 1 or 2 minute warning before the end of the class period. Do not start packing up until Mr. B prompts you to do so. So make sure that you showed up on time. You started the warm-up. You started doing what was asked of you immediately upon coming in, and you didn't delay walking around talking to your peers or anything like this. When it's time to leave, I will give you a warning. And that warning is to make sure that you square things away with your computer. You have signed out. You have checked that your work has been saved properly and that you collect all of the things that you brought. Check the back of your chair, check your book bag, your lunch boxes, anything that you might have brought to the classroom. Make sure that you have everything before leaving. And of course, use the help cards. You don't have to raise your hand or call out in class, especially in a crowded class. It helps me if you just put the help card up. You'll see the magnet at the top left-hand side of your screen, and then you will get your help card. Try to find a help card available and put it up so that I am notified that you need help without you having to call out. Now, if I'm busy and I don't look up and see your help card, please make sure that you gently remind me, Ms. Brzezinski, I have my help card up. I need a little bit of assistance here. Now, of course, your help card is if you're having computer trouble. If you're not having computer trouble, you may approach me, for instance, if you have to use the restroom. Okay, so make sure that you're signing out appropriately, you're using the restroom, and coming back to class when you are, as soon as you are done, of course. And if you have to go to a band assignment or you have to go to a guidance appointment or a dentist appointment, whatever it is, if you have an early dismissal, you can just come directly up to Mr. Brzezinski and ask me to leave the room. Use the help cards for the computer. Approach me for anything else. So at this point, you may be asking yourself, what do we do here in technology for the 6th grade? So first off, as soon as you come in, you're going to be doing the warm-up. So first thing you do is you check the grades. Check the grades from previous projects that you may have turned in. Then, of course, you're going to check the old business. See if there's a project that you didn't finish from the day before. You can immediately start to get working on that to catch up. Now, if you are finished with all old business, you already have it turned in, you finished it, you got a grade for it. Congratulations, you're going to move on to the typical warm-up, which is coding, unless otherwise stated by Mr. Brzezinski, right? So you show up, you sit down, you sign into the computer, you go into Schoology, you check your grades. Then you check to see if there was anything that you didn't complete yet. Maybe it doesn't show up on the grades yet because I didn't grade it, but you still got to finish it. So check your old grades and then go into the warm-up, which is typically a little bit of coding. Throughout this course, we'll be doing a little bit of internet research and safety. Okay, so we will have some play posits there that will allow you to learn about how to do research for a typical project in school, and then some stuff about internet safety. For instance, social media do's and don'ts, how to avoid viruses, spam, all that type of stuff. We do a little bit of drawing in Google Draw. Very easy projects. We'll start off with these. These are fun, light, and interesting projects. Then we'll do a little bit of word processing so that you understand how to center text, how to create a document, how to have appropriate fonts, that type of thing. Finally, we go into spreadsheet with Google Sheets. We just touch a little bit in spreadsheet. And of course, the presentation, just like you see here, words floating into the screen, how to give a proper presentation, how to get clip art to fit in where you want it to fit in on your Google Slides. So as you can see, we do a little bit of everything here in 6th grade, basically giving you all of the possibilities so that you know that you have resources if you want to use these types of Google Suite package in other classes. Ooh, here comes an important one. Grading. How am I going to be graded here, Mr. Brzezinski? Well, first, you're going to do everything in Schoology, right? Schoology has our information, it has our instructions, it has our grades, it has everything. So Schoology is the main hub for technology. Sometimes you're really saving your document, or when you open up the My Document, quote unquote, from Schoology, it's actually creating that document in the drive, and you could find it by going to Google Drive at any time. So sometimes I'll have you make your own document in Google Drive and then attach it. Other times it's just right there for you under the My Documents tab in Schoology. We will be using a 100-point rubric with comments. So if you didn't get 100 points, I will let you know what was wrong with the document. Sometimes if you did too many things wrong, I'm not going to write comments. I'm just going to say follow the instructions and then return it to you. So make sure that you are checking for your grades, obviously. And if you have 100 points, you did everything right. I didn't have to say anything to you. However, if you made mistakes, I'm going to put comments there so that you know how to fix it. And of course, you can fix it and resubmit it. Okay? So you could turn in that project, of course, and resubmit it, and then request that Mr. Brzezinski regrade it. So if you turned in something and it's been 1 or 2 days and you still haven't gotten a grade on it, please remind me and tell me, Mr. Brzezinski, I resubmitted something, the grade hasn't been updated, can you please review it again? And of course, you're going to fix it. You're going to go back, open your document, open the instructions, check out at the end of the instructions if your document matches up with the instructions, right? If it looks the same and you can't tell the difference, then yeah, you're probably done with that instruction and you could ask me to resubmit it. However, if you open it up and you realize, oh, I still have a little bit of work to do, don't resubmit it without doing that work. Make sure that you're finished with all the instructions and then resubmit the document and ask Mr. Brzezinski to regrade it. I'm going to try to update the grades as quickly as possible, most times within 24 hours or 1 business day. So if you turn in something on Friday afternoon, by Monday afternoon, you will get that grade back. Or if you turn in something on Monday, on Tuesday, you'll get that grade back. Whenever we have school, I will be doing the grades. So that very next day, you will be checking your grade, making sure that you got full credit on it. And if you didn't get full credit on it, you see what to do. You need to finish it, fix it, turn it back in, and request a regrade. Let's talk about extra help. How do I get extra help? Let's say I'm falling behind. Well, of course, you need to be doing work during class first. Don't come in talking, goofing around, walking around the classroom, and then complain to me later that you need extra time to do a project. You need to first make the most out of your school day. So you come in, you sit down, you're working hard throughout the class period. And of course, I'm going to be so pleased to help you any way I can because you're a good student. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You're a great student, and that's why I'm going to be willing to do the extra work with you. So, do work in class, and if you need to, you could also do homework. If you know that a project hasn't been completed and I'll be moving on the next day, make sure that you do homework. I will sometimes notify you, listen, we will make up anyone who didn't finish today. We'll have time to make it up tomorrow. Other times I'm going to say, listen, tomorrow we're moving on, so make sure everything is caught up. Maybe you're 2 projects behind. Well, then, of course, you need to start doing homework. So you could go home and access the Google Drive, and you can open up your files, do your instructions from the YouTube video, and come back, hopefully completely finished and caught up. But if not, and you can't figure out what to do, then you come back with questions so that as soon as you come back into technology class, you can ask me questions and we can get it sorted out immediately. Even during your warm-up time, you can come in and as soon as you get into class, say, listen, Mr. Brzezinski, I was having trouble in this project yesterday. And you know what I'm going to say? Excellent. Let's open it up and get to work right away on that. Of course, if you need to, we can do this by appointment. So after school hours, sometimes I have a field hockey practice. I got other practices. I got to go places. So if you do need extra help, you can make an appointment with me. Maybe during Lions Pride, first period, some days. Maybe you can schedule a time to meet with me then. Sometimes maybe you need a Zoom meeting. Schedule it through Schoology, through the email. Let me know. Come and talk to me, and we should be able to get things sorted out. So make sure that you are making an appointment with me if you do need one-on-one extra time that just can't be filled during the normal class period, okay? Of course, anywhere there is Wi-Fi, you are able to do your projects. So here in the school, in any other class, if you have free time and you have a laptop in front of you, you could open up and get to work. Maybe at the library after school, if Mr. Brzezinski isn't currently in his room, maybe you could go to the library or stay in your homeroom teacher, wherever there's an after school help session going on, you can go in, sign into the Wi-Fi, get your work done, access your information, all that stuff. And of course, I'm available to help you with projects from other classes. Let's say you need to do a trifold brochure for health class, or you need to create a movie or a podcast or some type of information or some type of multimedia for another class. Feel free to use me as a resource and ask me questions. Throughout the years, I've helped many a student create some fantastic work for other classes, so please feel free to ask me. But of course, you're not going to waste my time. You're not going to waste your own time during class, and you're not going to waste my time or your time after school. When you need to do work, you show up, you get the work done, you jet out of here. So it looks like you're ready to go for this year's technology course. So hopefully you got all the answers correct and you're revved up and ready to go. And if you are finished with this video, as soon as you're done with this video, you can go back to Schoology and either attempt the warm-up or do something in the work completed folder there, one of those hyperlinks. So until next time, this is Mr. Brzezinski. Out.